Hello everyone, I am Tatsuaki Kawai, President and CEO of Brass Corporation. Thank you for watching the Brass IR channel. I would now like to explain our consolidated financial results for the fiscal year ended July 2023. Net sales were 13,260 million yen. Operating profit was 1,173 million yen. Ordinary profit was 1,201 million yen. Net income attributable to owners of parent was 722 million yen, and results came in broadly in line with plan. As we shifted to consolidated financial reporting from this fiscal year, the previous year's figures are shown for reference only. Net sales, operating profit, and ordinary profit all reached record highs for the second consecutive year. We also recorded an impairment loss of 407 million yen as an extraordinary loss. In addition, we recorded 349 million yen in deferred tax adjustments. The performance trends for Brass on a non-consolidated basis are as shown here. Please note that more than 99% of our group's net sales are generated by Brass on a standalone basis. Next, let's look at the KPI of our business. The number of weddings held was 3,217, 110.9% year-on-year. The number of bookings received was 3,027, 95.7% year-on-year. Booking backlog stood at 2,307, 87.6% year-on-year. Average sales per wedding reached 4.0 million yen, 104.9% year-on-year. Next, I will provide supplementary information on each item. Bookings received were down slightly year-on-year, but the overall trend remained stable. Average sales per wedding reached 4.0 million yen and, as you can see, has continued to grow steadily since before COVID. The number of weddings held in the fourth quarter decreased year-on-year as most weddings postponed due to COVID were completed in the first half of the fiscal year. For the full year, bookings received came in slightly below the previous year's level. Average sales per wedding remained strong, and the number of guests recovered to around 90% of the pre-COVID level. I will explain our consolidated earnings forecast for the fiscal year ending July 2024. We expect the number of weddings held to be 3,150. As COVID postponed weddings have been fully absorbed, the plan is below the previous year. We have assumed average sales per wedding of 4.0 million yen, unchanged from the previous fiscal year. Based on these, we forecast net sales of 13,263 million yen and operating profit of 764 million yen. Ordinary profit of 806 million yen. Net income attributable to owners of parent of 507 million yen. Net sales are expected to be broadly in line with the previous year, while profits are projected to decline due to new venue opening costs. As previously announced, our forecast for the year-end dividend for this fiscal year is 6 yen per share, an increase of 2 yen. Also, for the July 2024 dividend plan, we are planning a further 2 yen increase to 8 yen. We would like to thank our shareholders for their continued support. We also offer a shareholder benefit program with the aim of encouraging more shareholders to hold our stock over the medium to long term. Details of the shareholder benefit program are as announced in June. That concludes my explanation of the supplementary materials for these financial results. Now we'll move on to the Q&A session. I'll be answering the questions we've received from our viewers. Here is the first question. You recently announced a move from the Prime to the Standard market. So could you tell us more about your vision for the company's future growth? Since our founding, We have opened 1 or 2 venues a year and grown by developing house wedding venues. However, because of COVID, we were unable to open new venues for more than 3 years due to the impact of COVID-19 constrained our growth. As a result, this was a key factor in our inability to meet the Tokyo Stock Exchange's prime market criteria. Going forward, as we have done in the past, the only way to grow is to continue opening venues. One approach is, like our Chiba and Kyoto venues, through M&A, where we take over venues from other operators through business transfers, revitalize them, and grow. The other approach, as we have always done, is to find attractive land sites and build the kind of venues Brass does best and make them successful. I believe these are the two paths. We will continue opening venues, and Brass's share of the national wedding market is still only 1%. The remaining 99% is still ahead of us. Believing there are many more customers waiting for a Brass wedding, we will continue to open new venues. As for the future, we have temporarily withdrawn our numerical targets and plan to formulate a new medium-term management plan in conjunction with our current investment plan, taking into account changes in the business environment and our growth strategy. The second question is, the number of employees has increased significantly, but no new venue openings have been decided. Do you expect the current high costs to continue for a while? We hire new graduates every year, and we have continued to do so for the past 20 years. Even when store openings stopped due to COVID, we intentionally didn't stop hiring new graduates. So, currently, it's undeniable that we have a somewhat large number of employees. However, over the past 3 years, our managers have grown and are already being prepared for future new venue openings. Once openings are decided, we will assign them there. Brass does not rely on local hiring. Instead, we continue to follow the approach of assigning employees who have been properly developed at our existing venues to new venues. We haven't announced it yet, but we already have venues projects in the pipeline. Please look forward to them. The third question is, among listed bridal companies, I believe Brass is the only one with average sales per wedding above 4 million yen. Is there still room for further growth? Yes, there is. Because that average sales per wedding are heavily influenced by the number of guests attending each wedding. Even in this fiscal year, guest counts have not yet fully returned to pre-COVID levels. Leaving aside the question of when that will happen, if guest counts do return, I believe average sales per wedding can rise another step. Brass is not a company that competes on low prices, and we don't use the tactic common in the wedding industry of giving a low initial estimate and raising it later. We provide honest estimates, and then, after that, if there are things the customer chooses to buy, it goes up, or it might stay as is. But as the number of guests increases, it naturally goes up. This is, well, for this term, something I have high expectations for. I also sincerely hope that the number of guests will return to previous levels. That concludes the question and answer session. Thank you very much for watching this video. I am truly grateful for your support, which has helped our performance remain steady this term. While we've projected a decrease in profit for the period ending July 2024, we will report on new venue openings soon. We will conduct our business to achieve continuous growth, so we ask for your continued support. We are accepting questions about this video and these results, so please contact us here. Also, if you have any questions you'd like us to answer in a video, please send them here. Well then, I will see you at the next financial results briefing. Goodbye.